Well, you get sentenced to 15 years, subject to the No Early Release Act, which meant that you could serve 85% before parole, which is about 12 and 3/4 years.
Yes.
And you got sent to the Edna Mahan Correctional Facility for women?
Yes.
Where is that?
It's in Clinton, New Jersey.
Okay. So here you are, 2.5 years in county jail, but now you get transferred to the actual state penitentiary. What was that first night like in the state?
Um, it was terrifying. Like, very loud. Just, I was there with a whole bunch of like females. I just didn't. I feel like I didn't fit in with them. Like, you know, a lot of them, a lot of these girls were like, you know, they were like real hardcore criminals. Like, and no, it was pretty scary. And 15 years is a long time. Like, even a quarter, like 85% in a quarter of 15 years is a long time. So, I just pretty much thought my life would be over. I was like in my, mid 20s. No, and as a matter of fact, I was just approaching my 30s, and I felt like, it was done. Because, when you in your mid 20s, you think 30 is just over the hill. And you're not even, you just think, I just thought my life was over.
Now, you hear a lot about men's prisons, but not so much about women's prisons. Now, are there a lot of fights in women's prisons?
Yeah, it's a lot of fights. Women can be catty. So it's a lot of fights. Actually, they said that Clinton, the prison that I was in, Edna Mahan, for women, they said that at one point it was like one of the most dangerous female prisons. I know that they're like about to shut it down now because, a lot of the females sued because the officers were sexually abusing a lot of the inmates. So that prison is going to shut down.
Okay, so you had male prison guards raping the female inmates.
Yeah, a lot of fights, a lot of rapes. Um, you know, just a lot of gang activity.
What about rapes between the women inmates themselves?
Um, I wouldn't say they were getting raped, but it was a lot of like, you know, women, well, lesbianism going on too as well. So yeah, it wasn't women. I don't think women get raped by women in prison, but I have heard of some instances where some of the officers were again like taking advantage of, some people like older women, some minors, and some women that might be incapacitated mentally and stuff like that.
You yourself, what was the worst situation you got into?
Um, as far as with the guard,
Period. Guard,
oh,
inmate, anything.
um, okay, so I got into this girl. I don't know, like she was a blood member, a gang member, and she was a young girl, and like for some reason, she didn't like me or whatever. So like she hit me in the face with a she hit me with a lot in my face, and like basically me and her had a fight, and she kind of like knocked me out. Like my nose was like leaking blood. And then like I couldn't move. Like I can fight. I'm a fighter, but I couldn't actually move because like, I guess when you get knocked out, you can't move your limbs. That was like my first time. And I couldn't get up. And then like later, like my friends, they wanted to jump on her, but I told them not to, because I just didn't. It was just senseless just to be, fighting like that. But yeah, that was the worst thing. My nose was leaking everywhere. It was crazy. That's like the worst situation I've been in with an inmate. But I had other fights where I didn't, actually lose, but I lost that one. So